We now have an absolutely massive Tyler Glasnow injury update. As we know, Glasnow has been out the last few weeks, and just minutes ago, we have received news on what is the future of Tyler Glasnow with the Dodgers in the 2024 season. Hey, this is Mike Nelson of Dodgers Digest. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the almost 13% of the ones that are watching these videos have already hit the subscribe button, but 86% of you have not yet subscribed. You got to subscribe so you don't miss out on any big Dodgers news. Just get right into it. Of course, the Dodgers just got word from Dave Roberts that Tyler Glasnow is highly unlikely to return to the Dodgers this year due to an elbow strain. This was just reported minutes ago. Juan Toribio of MLB.com kind of confirmed it. But Dave Roberts delivered some tough news. This is from MLBTradeRumors.com. Dave Roberts delivered some tough news to reporters this afternoon, basically saying that Tyler Glasnow has been diagnosed with a sprained elbow, and it is highly unlikely that he is going to pitch again in 2024. You know, yesterday we reported on this channel that Tyler Glasnow suffered a setback before pitching a simulated game. Yesterday, was supposed to pitch a few innings and was not able to do that. Left basically, kind of just ran to the clubhouse would seem like with pain. And now we kind of get the understanding on why that was. Here is basically there were some scans done, and it revealed that that there's a sprained elbow for Glasnow. This was also what Dave Roberts said today. Absolutely devastating news, to say the least, for the Dodgers, who, of course, are in the midst of trying to, compete for a World Series championship. And I kind of wanted to go back here to this other slide here with him talking about the Tyler Glasnow injury. But, this is an example of just the Dodgers, once again, what's going on with the Dodgers starting pitching, right? I mean, says he suffered a setback in the throwing program yesterday, but what exactly did the Dodgers do in the last few days to try and help him rehab? I think that's what the Dodgers really have to look at, and as a fan base, we kind of have to question, what are the Dodgers doing to really help their pitchers when it comes to getting these injuries? Because now, this is now another pitcher that the Dodgers, unfortunately, have lost for an extended period. I mean, you look at the history now with Dustin May, Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, and now Tyler Glasnow as well. Glasnow has had a litany of injuries in his career. He's been an injury-prone pitcher his entire career. That's why signing him to a 5-year, $136 million contract in the offseason was definitely a risk that the Dodgers are willing to take. And it's not paying off this year. I mean, unfortunately, it's looking like Glasnow is completely done for the 2024 season, which is an absolutely devastating blow to the Dodgers. I mean, whether you like it or not, I know there's fans out there that are going to say this team is still, built for a World Series championship, but this definitely, you start to wonder, right? Because the Dodgers now are down, arguably they're, one of their best pitchers all season long was Tyler Glasnow. Statistically and just his presence out there was definitely one that I don't really see any other pitcher on this roster having this year. I mean, Yamamoto at times was that guy, but he's missed so he's been out for so long. Didn't pitch from June until now, until last just a few days ago against the Cubs. It's basically 3 months that we didn't see Yamamoto at all pitching in a Dodgers jersey. So, Yamamoto potentially could have been that guy, but I think Tyler Glasnow was the de facto ace of the Dodgers prior to his elbow tendonitis that he started suffering in early August. He was basically that number one star of the Dodgers. I think we're kind of lining up for the playoffs prior to that tendonitis, and now sprained elbow, which seems kind of strange that he would get a sprained elbow. It's not strange, of course, with his elbow injury, but I mean, it's definitely something that is concerning because you don't know how serious it is. I mean, is this going to require off-season surgery or not? There's still a lot of speculation in terms of that. And now, you don't know what's going to happen with this team in terms of the pitching rotation, right? I mean, there's a lot of question marks. Who's going to be able to step in to be that number one guy for the Dodgers if they have to pitch a Game 5, a must-win game in the NLDS, or in a Game 7 in the NLCS or World Series, who's going to get the ball now? I think that's what the Dodgers really have to wonder now, because is it going to be Yamamoto? I mean, is it going to be Jack Flaherty, who's supposed to be pitching today, although the weather doesn't look too good in Atlanta? We'll see if they get the game in today. But is it going to actually be Jack Flaherty? Jack Flaherty, his entire Major League Baseball career, he's never been seen as a number one starter. Is he actually going to be seen as a number one starter now with the Dodgers? I mean, I find that hard to believe. Although the Dodgers are just so short on pitching that they might have to actually do that. Promote somebody who has never been a number one starter. Because the other option, of course, is having Yamamoto, right? Yamamoto could be that number one starter for the Dodgers, right? He could be that guy that could step in, who's been a number one starter before in Japan. But it's just so many question marks that you just don't know what's going to happen with this team. And this is a devastating blow for the Dodgers. We wish all the best for Tyler Glasnow. But the Dodgers World Series chances are definitely looking more slim now after today. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Dodger content.